So slicing, a golf shot that so many golfers are played with, don't enjoy hitting. We're talking starting straight and then curving off to the right. We're just starting up the left, then curving back off to the right. So we're going to work through a kind of basic checklist. I want you to go back to your golf courses, onto your ranges, and check that you're doing all of these fundamentals. If you start doing all these fundamentals, you're going to start learning how to draw the ball, how to move it away from that slice that you're not enjoying. So first thing you've got to check. Looking at your club face, you've got to make sure that your club face is pointing straight at the beginning. Sounds obvious, but so many people neglect it. We're talking about the front leading edge. This bottom line needs to be at a right angle to the line you want to hit the ball along. So that club face is in place, ready, pointing at your target. You're then ready to check stage 2, which is always going to be your grip. How are you holding the club? Really important checkpoint for people who are slicing on your left hand. Two massively important things that just have to happen. Got to be looking down at least 2 knuckles on your left hand, preferably seeing 3 knuckles when you've got your left hand grip. Glancing down, got to see 3 knuckles. If you're not doing that, you're going to be encouraging a slice all day long. Second thing with your hold, you've got to make sure it's in the base of your left hand. So many people hold it through the middle of their left hand, which encourages a horrible flicking forwards, weaker kind of impact position. Got to make sure it's in the base of your palm of that left hand. I've got a more in-depth holding the golf club video, which you can refer back to if you want all the info on how to grip. But for slicers, 3 knuckles on your left hand must be in the base of your palm. Second thing to check, or third thing to check, sorry, got to make sure the back of the ball is in the middle of your 2 feet. So the bit you're going to hit, back of the ball, middle of your 2 feet. Very common for slicers, putting the ball towards the front of the foot. So I've got a 6-iron here. I'll be looking towards getting the back of the ball, the bit I want to strike, in the middle of my 2 feet. Next thing you got to check is your alignment. Are your feet, hips, knees, shoulders all parallel to the line you want to hit the ball along? If you want to create a good positive swing path to get away from slicing, you can't be standing there with your feet what we'd call open, so aiming to the left, or even your feet straight and then your shoulders open pointing to the left. You've got to make sure your body is parallel to the line you want that ball to fly along. Then the most important factor, once you've got your setup all ready and ready to hit through the ball, that isn't going to make you hit a draw or hit the ball straight up, but it's going to encourage you. It's going to give you the tools to now make a decent swing to encourage you to get this draw shape on the ball that you're looking for. So when it comes to your swing, the question you ought to be asking yourself when you're practicing is how good are you at starting your shots to the right of the target. Now I don't mean slicing them off to the right, I mean standing up to your shot, good grip, good start, aiming straight, but then trying to swing out to the right of target. How easy is it for you to hit the ball and get it to start down the right? Because if you think about what a draw shot is, it's a shot that starts down the right and then draws back towards your target. So for you to get the first part of your draw, arguably you've got to be swinging out to the right for you to then bring the ball back with the spin. So if you stand on the range and you can't start your shot down the right, it only tends to start straight or starts at the right and then spins off to the right, then you're probably finding that you're going to be hitting across the ball, which is never going to encourage a draw shape. For the draw shape to happen, you've got to be hitting more from inside, so from your side out to the ball. So a good way of practicing this, like I say, stand on the range wherever you practice, set yourself up to your target, but see how good you are at starting the ball off to the right of your target, and wherever it starts, does it hold its line? I don't want it, or you don't want it slicing further off to the right. The last fact that you've got to get working for you if you're going to draw it, once you've got that ball starting down the right, you want it obviously then spinning back to your target. What you're going to need to do is make sure that you're what we'd call releasing the club, so turning the club over as you strike the ball. Slicers tend to come through with the club face what we call open, so pointing off to the right. This is often caused by outswing swing paths and buckling, bowing, chicken winging the left arm they call it, so the left arm coming in and a bit of a flick forwards. Got to start working on trying to turn the club over, and a good way to check if you can turn the club over, or if you are turning the club over, is to do a few half swings. So just around shoulder height to shoulder height, And at the end you want to see how close are your elbows together when you finish. So once you've done your half swing, hit the ball, just freeze. How good are you at finishing and getting those elbows almost touching? Because if those elbows are coming together on the way through, that means the club will be naturally being turned over by those arms coming together. Very again common with the slices, like I said earlier, is that bending of the left elbow, that bowing of the arm, and that makes it nearly impossible for you to flip the club to get the nice draw shape that you're after. So first things first, always looking at club face. Make sure it's pointed at a right angle to the line you want to hit the ball. Make sure you check your grip, free knuckle grip, base of your palm, alignment in your setup, feet, shoulders, feet, hips, knees, shoulders all parallel to the line you want to hit the ball on. Then you're thinking about trying to start the ball down the right, so actually swinging from your side out away from your left leg out to the right, but at the same time if you can get your elbows coming together on the way through, you're going to get that nice draw shape. Now with the swing, that's a slight exaggeration of what you need to do, but I always think when you're practicing, exaggeration is a good thing. If you start hitting the ball with too much draw spin, that's better than A, slicing it, and B, it means you're seeing both sides of the story. So not only are you fading some, you can now hook some to order. So if you've got both sides of the story tied up there, it's much easier to find that middle ground, which is that straighter to maybe slightly drawing shots. Give that a practice. Any comments, post them. I'll always try to answer. I hope you enjoy the video.